Good morning, everyone. So, Paula Mattisonsierra here. A sales tip for you guys today. So, I wanted to share some sales tip, things that I've observed from clients, best practices, things that I've heard people speak about, things that I've done and executed myself. And of course, I'm not a sales trainer. We've had some great ones on the show, but we're going to talk about this today because I think it affects our business more than we realize. So, let's do it. Good morning, everyone. So, Paula Madison Sierra here. I really wanted to share this one with you guys because I feel like over the last 3 weeks or so, I've really observed some things that, I just find it just makes me kind of stand back a little bit. People who are further into running their businesses, and by the way, who are doing quite well, but them expressing this fear of selling. And I was in a breakout room recently, and folks were sharing, and we were just kind of back and forth talking about it. And it was an interesting topic. And I know that if you have, what was it, five folks in a breakout room, all talking about the same things, I am thinking that others are going through the same thing too. And it is, I know there are quite a few people are going through it. I think that the failure rate of most businesses maybe partially is due to the fear of selling. Build it and they will magically come. I will just simply wait and they'll find me. I observed this when I used to own, when I was in retail, as retailing and wholesaling. I observed it when I was on the service end as well. I don't want to bother the client. Um, and so I really wanted to share some tips today. And like I said, I am not a sales trainer. If you want deep, deep sales training for yourself and for your staff, we've had some amazing sales trainers on the show. Actually, you know something? I will actually go ahead and share their link. I'll find it, make sure that I share those episodes. There's been about 3 or 4 shows specifically on sales, the practice of how to do it. Um, and so I wanted to share it again because we're going into a weird economic time right now, and we really need to think outside the box about how we're building our businesses. So I am still hearing things like, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to ask for the business. It sounds like I'm begging. I don't want to speak about money. Um, have you ever heard yourself saying any one of these? Well, yeah, definitely. We're going to talk about it, right? And so again, not a sales expert. These are just my observations from clients that I've seen worked really well, for myself that has worked really well. So here's my no nonsense tips for just getting out and just being with your clients and start the process. You can't develop your own process if you don't just simply do it. We can plan and plan for days, but eventually, even baby birds get kicked out of the nest. Like, you got to try to fly, right? So this is some of my basics to just change your mindset and get you to move forward. So first things first, as a business owner, you need to develop a very different point of view. Okay, so you have to ask for the business. I mean, you got to figure out your structure and where your comfort level is. But at some point, you got to sit still in that meeting, on the Zoom call, face to face, on the phone, however you're doing it, and simply ask for the business, right? It's not a bad thing. They're waiting for it as well. And can I tell you, I've been on the opposite side of that. And as business owners, we've all been on the other end of it. And sometimes you're already sold. I'm good. I really want I wanted the product when they walked in the room. Now I just want to find out what my budget looks like, how we need to arrange this so that we can purchase it, right? There is such a thing as selling past the sale. I mean, I've gotten caught in that trap. I am not innocent of this atrocity. It's when someone really already wants the product. But because of our nervousness, the fear of selling, we just keep going. We won't stop. We won't shut up. And it gets to the point where they just start drifting back and just go, oh my God, will this person shut up? And maybe not even give us a sale because of it. Have you been guilty of that? I know I've been guilty of that. And so don't sell past the sale, right? It's not a bad thing to ask, but at some point you got to be quiet, be still, and simply let them speak. The other thing, see yourself as a problem solver and get the used car salesperson that you have wedged in your mind out of your brain. You've chosen to be a business owner, which means you are the business's very first salesperson. And even if you bring salespeople in afterwards, guess what? They need someone who's been doing it for a while, interacting with the clients for a while, to teach them and share some things with them so that they can be successful for your business. So it is vitally important that you participate somehow when you first start. I mean, this is the profitability of your business, right? We're talking about, and the monies that you've taken from your family, from yourself, your blood, sweat, and tears to start this business. So we gotta like ask for the business. We gotta do it. We gotta move forward, right? But first, we gotta take this thing out of our heads that we're potentially a used car salesperson. Salespeople are bad. Salespeople are horrible. By the way, you know you're talking about yourself when you're saying that, right? So again, stop it, right? And when you hear yourself saying it in your head, I literally want you to say, just be quiet and stop it. The reason why they asked me here is because they want my product. They're interested, right? The rest is determinant on you and where your headspace is. Ask questions. Ask questions and just simply be curious. Ask, do the research. Do the research ahead of time. If you do the research ahead of time, you can see how their industry is doing. You can see how maybe they're doing. What's been going on? Are they active on social media? Are they trying to do a push on social media right now? My one of my absolute favorites, and I know people have opinions about it, but I love Yelp because you get to see what their clients are actually saying about them. Yes, they're crazy people on it, but those people are very small percentage versus the people who actually love you. And I'm sorry if you have a lot of people who are saying horrible things about you, you have things operationally that you need to look at. And we just got to take a deep breath and walk into that one because we're missing something. Is there like a gatekeeper that's doing things that you don't know about when you're in your office or. So that's going to affect your sales as well. But the information is right there in Yelp with your clients literally telling you. In some cases, they even use names, right? So it's not that hard to figure out where the stumbling blocks are, right? My big one is ask questions and then be silent. Just be silent, right? Just sit still for a moment and allow them, because some people need more development time, right? As they're thinking, as they're processing, so that they can give you an answer. But if you keep talking, then you'll speak over them and not get the answer. And depending on what their personality type is, they may not even bother to give you the answer. Next one is practice active listening. This is one that I've been working on for a very long time because once I found out how often we actually self talk in our head, they say that we have like all these thousands of conversations going on in our heads, like affirmations, good or bad, that we don't even know is going on, right? And so when you are listening to someone, if you're not conscious of your self-talk, you're not realizing that you're putting your crap into their backyard, right? So practice active listening. I define active listening as listening from the speaker's perspective versus your self-talk. So it's important to empty your head. And actually, by the way, doing the research ahead of time also gives you an idea of the landscape and where they are as well, right? So listening from their perspective, so you're really helping in the problem solving process that they're going through, right? So be still and hear their emotions and their fears, not yours. Okay. In your head, am I going to close this? Do they like me? Am I dressed right? Is the presentation right? Is there a comma where I wanted it to be? Like, leave that all out. You hear yourself coming at it, take a deep breath and go back to them. It's okay. We're human. The self talk thing happens to all of us. Just push yourself back and make sure that you're being still and hearing them. Yeah, I know it sounds like a lot of hooey wooey, but the reality is that when we are interacting with humans, these are humans. These aren't perfect. This is a formula for this person. This is a formula for that person. We are diverse in our thinking, in the way we are. We're all unique. So you can put a person in a box with a limited mindset of who they are. So we got to hear what their fears and their emotions are and really try to speak to that and how you can be there to help them with your product and your service and your company, right? The other thing, it's think about it like it's a party, it's a conversation. Have fun with it. You're meeting a new person. Really hear about what's going on in their business. This can this can you can they can review your massive PowerPoint deck later. Okay? They can do that later. All right? So being the guy who has the power, and I know it's a thing to help you with your nervousness, okay? But sitting there with your PowerPoint and just reading, they're like people there, right? But you're reading, or it's on screen and you're reading, interact. It's a conversation. Those bullet points are just bullet points in the PowerPoint if you're doing it that way, all right? You can give it to them. You can give them a summarized version or a more blown out version so that they can read that later. And then you can follow up with your proposal if you go in that direction, right? Remember that people really, it's how you make them feel and how this is how they connect to you because they realize that you really truly are hearing their stories and who they are. Listen, I am guilty of it. I forget people's name quite a bit, but the funny and the curious thing is I never forget what they told me about themselves. I will forget their names and everything, but I'll remember everything they told me about their business, their family, you know, their favorite place to go for a walk, like whatever. I'll remember all of that, but I can't remember their name. Go figure. I have no idea. I will get better at it and figure that one out. But I realize that because I remember all of that, um, it's a way of making them feel a certain way. So as you're sitting there with your prospect, don't think of them as dollar signs. Think of them as people. That is going to make a big difference to how you process with your sale. Next thing is it's less expensive to focus on your current, your past clients, and your referral partners than it is to go find a whole new batch of people. Do you have a system in place to follow up with your these parties? Are you doing it on a regular basis, right? It's again, it's the cheapest means of sales because they already know you. And actually, you know, throwing this one out because I like to do this as well. Even clients that you know, maybe they left, maybe they went to someone else, reach out to them as well because now you know their objections. And if you have grown or if you added that service or you have a better way around it, it's only coffee. It's only a conversation. Just call them and have a conversation. You don't know what's going on. So why not call and see if you can be of service, right? Get over yourself. That's a big one. Get over yourself. An objection, a no. I don't want to do this can just be that, right? There are so many things that a no means besides it's all about me. No, sometimes it simply means I don't have the budget currently. I don't have it right now. I need to speak to my partner. I need to think about it and I need more time to process it. Or maybe the product offering that you showcase to them is way bigger than where they actually are. Like there's a myriad of situations that could be going on there. It's not on you to put your self-talk into the conversation. Just be there as a problem solver, be there to help. Um, Simple as that. Have automated, and I've actually done a show on automated marketing. So please set that up for your follow up so that you can simply follow up with them and send off maybe some information to be of assistance. Share your case studies, new services, etc., with them so that they'll have it in front of them as they're making their decisions, right? Use a combination of both digital and human intervention. It breaks my heart when people get so deep into the automation that they forget that there's people involved. You know, if you ever call someone's office and it's so overly set up that you can't get through their chat box, you can't get through their phone, you can't get through the voicemail, you can't get through on email, there's a whole list of things. I mean, that's just too much. All right. So don't overly digitize and overly do it because of that fear of sales. And I realize that happens because people do have a fear of sales. And this is a way that they can push themselves out of it. You can't completely push humans out of it. Humans need to be part of a relationship building process because sales, which is part of marketing, not separate by itself, it is an element that's part of marketing. And marketing is about relationship building. And you can't relationship build with email. All right. You need to relationship build with a person. I can follow up afterwards, but I still need an actual person. Okay. My other one is stay visible. It's like my social media battle cry for those of you who are connected with me on my social media platforms. You'll see it on my business banners, right? Stay visible. Um, People sometimes will forget that you're there, but if you stay visible and are doing the work, you know, you're going to networking, you're following up with them. Maybe they're on your newsletter, or you've asked if they could be on your newsletter. Whatever it is, I think it's going to be important to make sure that you stay visible so they can see you in order to make a decision. You know, people are running hard, especially now. I feel like 24 hours. Sometimes I just shake my head and just go, "That's not that wasn't 24 hours, right?" And we're all going through some variation of that, right? So, staying visible is just as good for you as it is for your clients and your referral partners, right? So those are my quick tips for today. They're no nonsense. They're down and dirty. There's a whole bunch more that I thought of, but I'm like, no, let's keep it to that. So if you just simply start with some basics, I'm going to run through them really fast again so that you can hear them. One, first and foremost, right? Ask for the business. The other thing is change your mindset around sales, right? The next thing is, again, I said ask for the business. Be curious. Do the research ahead of schedule. I think it was Jeffrey Gitomer who says the business day starts the day before. You know, so you're doing homework. You thought you got away from it. Do the homework. Ask questions. Be silent. Practice active listening. It's a good one for all aspects and all relationships in your life anyway. So practice it. Be still and hear their emotion because, as Maya Angelou says, people remember how you make them feel, not what you tell them, right? It's like how they feel. And your clients are the same as well. Don't get so addicted to your PowerPoint that you cannot see that there are people in the room with you. Don't get so locked in. I know it's a safety mechanism for you, but pick your head up and look around the room and have a conversation because it is a conversation, right? Um, get over yourself. No is sometimes not really no, never. No, sometimes is late means later, another time, right? Try to automate your follow ups, but remember that you need to do a combination of digital and human intervention. And of course, to wrap up again, to do the summary, stay visible and get out there. So I hope these were helpful to you today to get you moving in your sales process, or just nudge you just a little bit. That would be great. Um, if you're ready for marketing, please reach out to Power Marketing SF. We're an offsite marketing department, helping small to mid-sized business owners move forward. My continued mission is simply to offer great information from either my referral partners or from my learning with my clients, simply to share with you and uplevel you during these really, let's face it, just crazy times where we're just all learning right now. 10 at 10 airs every Thursday at 10 a.m. live, not pre recorded. This is not pre recorded on LinkedIn. Thank you so much, viewers. I appreciate your share. Stay strong during this crazy time. Okay. And as Jeffrey Gitomer says, great salespeople are relationship builders who provide value and help their clients to win. And I think I'm going to add something. By helping your clients to win, you're winning as well, right? So, anyway, guys, have an amazing Thursday. Hopefully, wherever you are in the world, that you are having some great sunshine and are able to get away from this for a little bit and get out there and get some sunshine on your face. Thank you so much. Take care. Have an amazing rest of the day.